I mean, Mary's not super tall, and then
do. So then, how much time did you have to like learn it and prep it?
maybe like a day or two.
Oh my gosh! What? Dang, you're just built of steel then.
I'm doing the injuring.
Please welcome Oona O'Brien.
Oh my gosh, what an intro. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We just got our asses kicked. I'm not afraid of getting my ass kicked.
You look
What it takes to get better.
you look a lot older now. Like you look way taller too.
Since I got here. We're here to fight, not gossip. Dominance
This
requires
over a
sacrifice.
summer, I think.
Wow.
There's a summer in between seasons.
Yeah, you were like significantly shorter than Payton, and now all of a sudden you're her height.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe I ate a lot that summer.
Ooh.
Protein shakes.
Ooh.
If you had sacrificed your pawn, you might have scored that point. So you lose.
She's so mean.
So was that your first day meeting Alicia then?
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out
That-
Sensei Kim, my sensei.
Whoa. That might have been. Oh, no. At the Topanga Dojo. I think that might have been my first time meeting her.
Yeah, Topanga.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Brandon, you're messing this up. How
I
dare
totally
you?
screwed up everything. I'm a rookie.
That was
What did
crazy.
we
That was my
watch?
first time fighting Alicia, though. I did not think we were gonna fight the senseis ever. I thought it would always be student on student combat, but she came in, she's ready to destroy us. So, like many of Devon's scenes, I ended up on the ground losing again and again. Like that was one of many scenes where she was just thrown on the ground and beat up. So
Yeah, I didn't realize it until we kept watching scene after scene. I'm like, dang, Devon's just
Punching
losing
bag.
all these. Yeah, but I mean, maybe you used all of your luck by kicking everyone in the balls in the beginning, and then from that moment, like you took all your W's then, because that's like the top amount. That's bigger than the Sekai Tekai. You just destroyed. You know what I mean? Like
You're like, okay, calm down. Now we have to humble her. Beat her up a ton.
that's probably one of Alicia's first fight scenes. Then, do you remember if that was the
yeah.
case?
That might have been her first fight scene too, yeah. Alicia's a natural fighter.
Yeah, yeah,
I
she's a
think
beast.
she maybe did a little taekwondo before, but whoa, she's really good.
Was it tough doing a 2-on-1? That was probably your first 2-on-1 fight, right?
Yes, that was my first 2-on-1 fight. That was really fun because that was the first time I got to fight with Payton instead of against
Yeah.
her, and it was nice to team up. I think I have like a photo of us where we're both on the ground and we're supposed to be all defeated, but we're just throwing up like the peace signs and
Yeah.
But that was like I remember that being a really fun day. And I remember there's like one point, I don't know if it's in that scene or one later during the brawl, but where Kim flips both Payton and I onto the ground.
Yeah.
You know, this being my first show, I was just like, okay, we just do all the stunts, I guess. Like, this is normal. I guess I got to do it. Like, I'm nervous, but it'll be fine. We'll just get flipped onto the ground. It'll be great. And then afterwards, I talked to Payton and I'm like, I can't believe they let us do that. Like, that's crazy. She goes, I know, right? We've never done that before. And she was like,
So that was you guys.
Yeah, that was us getting flipped.
Wow.
I think they probably did a stunt pass too, but no, we definitely got flipped quite a few times, and it was fun. It was fun. I love
That's
getting
so
beat
cool.
up on this show.
That's so cool. Was there any learning curves doing a 2-versus-1 fight? Because at least for me, from my experience, I feel like it's actually much harder to be the people that are teaming up against the one, because you have to
I agree.
You have to fill in the timing, but also
Yes.
not have egg on your face. Have you heard that
Yes.
term, egg on your face?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is like, if anyone listening, they don't know what that means. It's pretty much just making it not look like you're just waiting for your turn to throw a punch or waiting for your turn to get hit. Like, so it's hard when it's 2 versus 1 because you guys are taking turns going in, but you still
Yes.
have to look like you're moving. Was
Yeah,
that
it's a
like
lot
a
of like really exaggerated hits. Like if you get kicked in the face, you take it and you
yeah,
like let
yeah,
it hit you and be affected by it while your teammate does like 10 epic moves. And
yeah,
then you jump back in there. And yeah,
yeah,
there's definitely a lot of like waiting where you just have to fake it a little bit. Although I feel like anytime someone gets hit in the face on this show, we just immediately say like, "Oh, they're okay." So I guess it's more accurate, you know? Like they just like bounce back and then keep fighting. But yeah, I would agree. Definitely being on the a team is much harder than carrying that solo fight.
yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting because most people would think that playing hero in that like
Right.
moment would probably be harder because you have more, and
Yes.
it is. I think it's harder in its own ways, but like that's where like because most stunt people, we call it like gooning, they're
Mhm.
usually the ones that are having to gang up against one hero, which is the actor, right? And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that is actually a lot. So you kind of got a taste of that a little bit in that, I think, where
Yeah.
you're having to like match her timing, and you know what I mean? Like you have to fill in
Mhm.
the gaps, and if you come in a little bit too early, it shows. If you come in a little bit too late, it shows. It's like
Yeah.
it's actually way harder. So like,
And you don't want to mess
yeah,
it up for them too, because they're working double time. You know,
yeah,
they're the ones that are really sweating and putting in all the work. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard to balance.
Was it hard to do dialogue and then go in the fight and dialogue and go in the fight? Because you guys are kind of like talking as you're fighting, right? Was
Yeah.
that all a master anyways, or did you shoot the dialogue separately?
I want to say that was a master. I could be wrong though. I don't recall that far. Excuse me.
Mm.
I don't recall that far back. I think that was in like 2021. Yeah, I believe we did that all sort of in a master shot, and then maybe we did a few close-ups for the dialogue. But it definitely, you know, you lose some of that momentum and that adrenaline. So, which I think worked to the advantage of this of the plot because you know
Yeah,
it's not like we're making out a plan and then executing it perfectly. That really is our dialogue is a distraction for us in our fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It kind of causes us to lose. So yeah, it kind of yeah, it played to our advantage.
You guys look so cozy at the end there when she's like lying on you. Like it's like
We
you
probably
guys are
spent like
like having.
10 minutes just like hanging out there, just chatting.
Did you guys have to chill down there for a while for some of
Yeah,
the takes? That's
we
so
did.
funny. You
Because
guys.
they kind of just like have you lay down and then Peyton would get like thrown on top of me. And then they have some dialogue too. Like they exchange some words at
Yeah,
the end.
as you're down there, yeah.
There's a lot of Alicia just like putting her foot on top of us and then just chatting. Menacingly, I should say.
Lee,
Yes, Sensei.
are you ready?
You want me to fight Sam LaRusso?
No. I want you to defeat her.
She's so scary.
Or are you too afraid?
Menacing.
No, Sensei.
Then show me.
That's some ADR breathing right there.
Oh, really? The
For sure. For sure.
Ooh. You can tell you've been training.
We had time for this one. We had
Wow.
2 days.
Oh my, you're
Point 1-0.
clean with it.
That guy's trying to copy your hair. Wait, there's one sensei with spiky hair.
Oh yeah, he is back there. Maybe that's Quan.
Yeah, it's Quan's dad.
Yeah, Quan's dad.
If I lose the match because of
Oh, when the
motion
slow mo
hair
comes
whip.
in, you know it's getting serious. Ooh.
Very scary.
Point LaRusso 1-1.
Ooh.
Point 2-1. LaRusso. Ready? Fight.
Your sidekick was so clean. Dang. No, not Devon.
Oh.
You know what the thing is? You need to fight guys so you can kick them in the nuts.
That scene, that was a really fun scene. I remember that day we did, or that fight we did have a lot more time to practice.
Mm,
I don't know if this is true for you, but because I was only like a recurring guest star, I didn't get the scripts until like a couple days before.
yep.
Did you have that too?
Same.
Oh my gosh. And they don't like tell you what's going on with your character at all. So I didn't even know that I had that fight, but I remember filming one of the previous episodes. Mary was like, Una, I can't wait to fight you. It's going to be so much fun. And I was like,
And
we
you were like,
fight?
what?
What's going on? What? And then I think we started rehearsals for the fight before I got the script. So I was like, I'm
Really?
finding you for some reason, but I don't really know what's going on. But yeah, that time we did have like a good 2-3 days to prepare for that. And I think we
Mm.
shot it all like in a couple takes. It was fast. Yeah, that was a fun one. Also, I must say, okay, I remember the entire time we were filming that, Ralph was there, even when the camera wasn't on him, and we
Hmm.
were just like doing our own close up coverage or whatever. Ralph came to watch and support Mary.
His karate daughter, his on-screen daughter.
Oh,
It was so sweet. And Tanner was there too. Tanner's so sweet. He was holding water bottles for us on the side. Oh my
he
gosh. I
always
just
does
feel
that.
like I want to share that just because
Yeah.
that's so typical of the Cobra Kai cast to just, even if they're not in the scene, like they still show up and come to
Yeah.
watch everyone's fights and cheer everyone on. So that was really cool. I felt like there's just such a good community on this
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember? I think this was one of the first times, I think it was the first time we all hung out when I came on, when Daniel and I came on. And we went to dinner with Jacob, Sholo, you,
Oh
me,
yeah,
and
at
Daniel.
Tiny Lou's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I asked you guys, how are you guys like so cool? Like how are you guys not, because like with all the success of the show and everything, they always say don't meet your heroes, and I was like, you guys are all way too cool. Like wait, when are you going to start being like a-holes to me? Like, and I think you guys all pretty much said it was like your small circle, and also Ralph and Billy setting the tone of like they're watching, they're on set all the time
Yeah.
during all the Sekai Tekai stuff. They could be just in their trailer or whatever, and they could
They
have a
could.
photo double come in, but they're always there. And honestly, those days that you're standing all day are more exhausting, I think,
I agree.
than
It sounds crazy, but I agree with you.
I would rather be fighting out there than standing there. Like your back starts hurting and stuff, like from just standing there the whole time, or at least
And
mine
with your
does.
back injury on top of that.
Yeah, that sounds very much like Ralph and Tanner too. I remember Tanner always giving me water bottles in between take. They're like just the
They're
coolest
so
people.
sweet.
Yeah.
Or like they're giving us pep talks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are the stars of the show. You don't need to be doing this, but
Yeah.
everyone is so
Seriously.
nice.
But I gotta say, the moment you throw a kick and punch in this, like you can see you were training a lot in between. That's when you started taking it really seriously, right?
Yeah,
After season
yeah.
4, because the technique, the stand, oh, it was just like clean.
Thank you.
Just clean. Like the side
Thank
kick too
you.
is the full bladed foot. Like those are like the little like details. Like how much time were you training in between season 4 and 5 then by this point?
I think we finished filming season 4 in the spring of 2021, and then we had the summer off, and we started filming season 5 in the fall. And we actually started filming before season 4 even came out. So we filmed all of season 5. Season 4 came out, and then season 5 came out, and then we waited a long time. Strike happened and everything. Then we started filming season 6.
That's in the same year?
Yeah, it was in the same year. I feel like everyone looks a lot older though, you know?
No, you and
No, they
Dallas
don't.
went
They don't
through a
look good.
hyperbolic time chamber in like that is through a summer? That's insane. You guys both got like so much better. You guys grew like 6 inches each. Like what the heck? I was when I had Dallas come on, I was like, just as much as like people say like he like grew up a
Yeah.
lot on the show, like I was like, oh my gosh, Una grew up a lot too. Like she looks like so much younger. If people
know,
don't
it's
know, that is
crazy.
insane how much you progressed in your skill level within the
that's very
summer. That's
sweet.
crazy. No, seriously, like
We had the best stunt team though, just like teaching us all
yeah.
the cheats and the tricks. So I can't really take credit for it, but
But you, I mean, you were training a lot on your own in between seasons, right? Over
yeah,
the
that's
summer.
true. I did
Yeah.
have time to train.
How was it fighting Mary for the first time versus fighting Payton? Like what was like they're both really
That's
really
a good.
good and they're both very different.
Yes.
So I wonder like what was something that you noticed was different about that chemistry um between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, well, the biggest difference is definitely just the height difference.
I knew you were
Because
gonna say it.
I don't mean it in a bad way, but
Mary's gonna be
you
so
go
mad
from,
if she watches this.
no, Mary, you're the perfect size. No, you're perfect height. But yeah, you go from fighting someone that's like taller than you and everything's going on, then is a little bit of a switch. But I feel like Peyton's definitely more of a like an emotionally charged fighter, and she like kind of
Mm,
comes at you with all this intensity. Mary too, but I feel like Mary's is way more technical because I think
mm,
she's also taken a lot of separate karate classes outside of
mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai. And I know she's a black belt now too. But I do feel like a lot of her stuff and a lot of the Miyagi-Do style, like there is a big difference in Cobra Kai versus
Yeah,
Miyagi-Do, even
definitely.
when you're just pretend fighting people. So yeah, I felt like as a Cobra Kai, I threw a lot more of the attacks, whereas I was always kind of on defense fighting against Peyton.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now I think about it.
Although I did
Was that
still get beat up. So maybe I should have
that
had
was the
my guard
common
up a little bit more.
denominator, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mary's so
Oh,
good. They're both fantastic fighters. Like
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
What about like I guess just like the off-camera stuff, the differences in their workflow? Is one more playful than the other? Because I asked Dallas the same thing, but about Jacob and Tanner. And he
Oh,
said
right.
Jacob was like very like playful in between takes and just like messing around all the time, and then Tanner was like really like he was really intense. So
Wow.
like
Okay.
because I feel like this is where we were very similar, where we were fans and also we look up to these people, you know. So were
Yeah,
there any
for sure.
differences and takeaways you took from Mary and Peyton and just interacting with them on set and stuff?
I feel they were both so nurturing toward me. You know, I felt like they
Mm-hmm.
were always like looking out for me and asking like, "Hey, am I hitting you?" or like, is this okay?" And so they were very sweet and similar in that regard. Other than that, like honestly, I felt like for the girls, we all just kind of we would chat in between takes. Well, we were just, yeah, it wasn't. They're pretty good about like being their regular, happy,
Yeah.
optimistic selves, and then switching into the action mode where they're just, it's the to like I'm fighting you now, and
That was
I'm going to
clean. That was
destroy
clean.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty good at like just turning it on. So
That's something that I noticed coming on is all of you guys were so good at like just messing around in between takes, and then the moment we're like okay rolling like just locked in. I was like oh dang like it's
yeah,
crazy.
oh my gosh.
Was there I thought of this in the moment. Was there a conscious difference in approach for you in between season 4 and 5? Because I feel like it seemed like you were a lot more vulnerable in season 5 than you were in season 4. Like season 4, he seems like I'm the nutcracker, the coolest
The
one.
Nutcracker. I like
I'm
the
gonna
Nutcracker.
keep calling you that. But then in season 5, it seems like Devon's a little bit more lonely. She's looking for a mentor, and you seem a lot like you can see it within the fights. Like you're a lot more vulnerable and not putting up that front
Right.
anymore. Was there talks with the writers about that, or was that like a conscious choice for you coming into season 5? Or
I think, well, I mean, I was saying earlier, like I didn't get the scripts until right before we shot it. So I was
mm-hmm,
trying to piece it together pretty much at like the same speed as the audience was.
mm-hmm,
Just in terms of how much information I got. So I did just kind of, I guess, gather like Devon didn't want to be at Cobra Kai ever, but she felt like, okay, like this is something that I started and I'm really passionate about now, and I want to continue doing karate. And if that means that Eagle Fang is shut down, she's going to find a new outlet.
mm-hmm,
And unfortunately, that ended up at Cobra Kai, which I do think made her more vulnerable because she felt kind of out of place there. But it
mm-hmm.
allowed her to connect with Tori, especially because they both lost or her mom was sick and Devon lost her mom. So I felt like she could let her guard down a little bit because she had someone to guide her. But yeah, and also she had to like win over Payton, Tori. She fought so long to win over Tori that
Mm.
there was a lot more of that vulnerability showing through.
I see. That's awesome. That's something I didn't notice until like watching those scenes back to back. But it's like a very very different energy.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
after getting kicked in the face at a tournament, you kind of lose some of your confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, now that we're talking about it, it's like Devon's journey is so unique in her own way. Because the way you said how she actually became more vulnerable at Cobra Kai, like I think she's the only character in that sense. Like most students that go to Cobra Kai, they end up being more aggressive, but you ended up being more vulnerable in ways. That's what I think makes Devon very different too. Is even no matter what dojo she's at, she's still herself. Like she doesn't get
Yes.
swayed as much as the other characters. I feel like independent, very independent, strong woman.
That's true. She tries. She struggles through that though. Also, she's just like a lonely girl. I don't think Devon has a lot of friends. So yeah, definitely her socially awkwardness shows through. Especially when she's doing.
Oh, that segues perfectly into this scene because it makes so much
Oh,
sense now. Okay,
look
the
what I
slumber
did.
party.
Dewey is actually very superstitious, and he was really worried that we would summon spirits with the Ouija
Yeah.
board.
How long did you have to learn that move?
Probably that day, in the morning.
What? Were the chickens real?
Yes. Wait, what? Everyone came in after to take photos with the chickens, and they
Oh my
peed
God.
all over us. And so our geese were all striped yellow by that.